Shortly after your debut, I watched you talk about how in the past, despite your hard work, it wasn't paying off. But in the end, you succeeded. At that time, I thought it's time to stop dreaming. Your words made me believe again. Thanks for sharing your flame with me. Seeing you on stage made me happy and proud. It's always great to hear when like other people are feeling similarly and feel like they can relate to my story and that I made them feel hopeful again. That's wonderful. I'm glad we can have that kind of experience and yeah, I want you guys to be able to relate to me. That's why I also try to share so many personal things, even if sometimes it's maybe oversharing. But I mean, we're spending almost every day together. How can I not overshare? I'm actually really like fascinated by how other girls are still like so secretive. I don't know how they do it. I just can't hold back. It's just all coming out of me automatically. If you have something you want to grasp, a dream you want to make come true, I'm sure you can do it. Fight! Da 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 da! It's like when your job is playing games, then your desire to play games off stream is, I think for a lot of people, at least for me, not for everyone, but for a lot of people, very small. Like, you guys, your day-to-day jobs, normally you wouldn't want to do the thing you do as your day-to-day job all the time at home as well. Like, I don't know, repairing a car or being a plumber. You want to do that all the time in your free time? Do you? Yeah. You want to do something else after that. Yeah. I've heard things about, like, the cooking is just a part of everyday life. But if being a chef is your job, then yeah, you may not make the biggest masterpieces at home. You may just cook up a fucking spaghetti bolognese and call it a day. If anything, because you cooked all fucking day. I mean, being a cook in a restaurant is fucking stressful. Really, really stressful. I mean, maybe not if you have a restaurant where nobody, where there are no customers. But I know, I've worked with kitchen people, cooks, chefs, all that before. And I know they were always really, really stressed out. Even though, in our case, we weren't even that busy. Did you cry in the refrigerator? You mean in the refrigerator room? I like to forget traumatic moments, but there may have been a time where I have hidden in one of those refrigerator rooms for a moment to gather my senses, maybe. I can see that, possibly, during my time working in that job. Possibly. I like to really forget traumatic moments, so... Oh, wait, I remember working I remember working in a kitchen for a while of a restaurant. It was part of my training. And there were some little shithead teenagers who were younger than me, but were doing a different kind of training. They were training to be chefs. I was training to be something else, but my kitchen training was part of it. But there was this one teenager who was really fucking spoiled, and he was like... He was big. Like, intimidatingly big, and thought he was really cool and During my time in the kitchen, I remember being like bullied a little bit. I think I remember food being thrown around. I fucking hated him so much. I was so happy when I was done with that. This is so long ago that I barely remember it, but I remember complaining to HR and all that, and HR was like, oh, that fucking fucktard. We always have problems with him. Never comes to work anyway. I was happy every time he would just not come to work and play sick. Fucking asshole. Being mean to colleague girls and not taking your job seriously, I hate that. Most of the time I didn't have to work with him anyway, because he usually did a different shift than I did. sometimes our shifts would overlap a little bit, and the moment he would walk in there into that kitchen, feeling like something better than me, feeling like he's cool or something, and I don't know, being rude to me, that moment already soured my day, ruined my day. I read, did he have the thoughts and not the hots? Oh my god. He did definitely brag about having a lot of girls, but I don't believe a word of that. But he comes from a rich family apparently, so he was really spoiled talking about having a cool car or something, I think. But yeah, a tool. It's actually maidenless, probably, yes. But in my time training for that job, I've met a lot of those kusogaki cook trainees, and they're all fucktards like him. All of them. I went to a school where a whole class was filled with, 15, 16-year-old boys who want to become a chef because that's all they could think of. And they were all shitheads. And they constantly would get in trouble for being under some kind of influence in class. Constantly. And being fucking shitheads. Only causing trouble. Not coming to school. My class, our category was like the normal people. Where the teachers would be glad that they were with us. And then there was a class of waiters. Those were like in between. But the worst ones were the fucking kids that wanted to become kitchen chefs. Those were the worst people ever. And I never wanted to see them. Like, thankfully, most of the time, I didn't have to deal with them. Never. Except like in the breaks. That's why I always stayed in the classroom during the breaks. I would always keep as much distance as possible from them. I respect all the chefs out there who do it as their job. But those teenager trainees, they have no respect for anyone. No respect for life. No respect for teachers or people, anyone. They don't even have respect for their own job because they don't take it seriously. But what do I expect from fucking teenagers? We have this system in Austria and Germany where instead of going to high school, you choose a job that you want to learn. You go to the job 10 months a year, and then 2 months a year, you go to a school that teaches you even more about that job in detail. Yeah, it's called Lehre, and the school is called Berufsschule, as apprenticeship. And Berufsschule, that kind of school, is very well known for having a lot of shitheads. Yeah, I did it a little bit later than the others, so I was kind of older than the others. It's generally a good idea because it's not always the case, but often the kids who go for that choose that direction because they can't make it into high school, or they just don't wanna. Not always though. Or if you just need some money. Or yeah, if you just don't aspire to become anything super big in the future. It does count like a kind of a equivalent. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But it's just more specific than a high school diploma, so you should really only do it when you plan on staying in that kind of business job. You do it for a couple of years. You do it usually 3 years or sometimes 4 years. And then at the very end, you have like a big test that you have to go through, and then you kind of get a diploma, but like kind of for that job only. And it will help you to get into a job like that, but for other things, you might have a few problems. But you can, actually what you can do additional ones. You can do one of those trainings for a different job, a different category, and then have more options if you want to. Or after getting a diploma for that, you can also still choose to go to the university afterwards if you want to. Like, people still see it a little bit like below a high school diploma here, but it's not really frowned upon or anything. Like, it's normal. You can easily get a job with that. So it's really just you're kind of limiting yourself to one category, one industry. That's the word I was looking for. My throat is dying. It's a specialization, yeah. I think the system is good though. I even had like in the other classes, there were some older people. Like one person was like in their 40s, one person was in their 50s. It's very, very open system, helpful if you want to change your direction. And for me, when I did that, in my case, it was pretty much like I chose it because I needed the money. I did it after coming back from Japan, and living with my mom again was not an option. I had to live on my own and I had to pay my rent on my own, so I had to make money. And the money that you get from that is shit, by the way, especially in the first year. I don't think it was a bad choice because at least the particular industry that I chose is very, very big. Like I can choose so many different jobs. I feel like if you do this for becoming a chef, then you're more limited than with what I did. I don't want to talk too much in detail about it, but basically I did something that's really, really, really helpful if you want to work in tourism. And yeah, for tourism there's like so many jobs. You can work in a travel agency, you can work in a hotel or in a in an airplane thingy. Or you can work in a restaurant too. You can work overseas. You can work on a cruise ship. Some people go on a cruise ship working there. Yeah, it's really easy to get a job anywhere in tourism. There's like really so many choices. Yeah, that's why I learned some Italian there, and it's only for tourism. I enjoyed working in tourism, although the most annoying thing was stupid ass Karens. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that kind of shit now. I probably won't go back to it anymore in the future. I thought about it and I think I'll probably just become a landlord. I think it's a smart thing to do. I would say that's like the most chill way to continuously kind of the opposite of active, non-actively make money. Passive, yes. You're evil then. No, to be honest, I don't even want to be the landlord. I'll have a company do that stuff for me. I'll just be the owner, basically. And then, with that, I will secure my main income in the future. But on the side, I can still do some small things. For example, if I want to get back into art, I thought that in the future, I'll probably still not ever be on the level where I can really live off of art. But I could still do some little work here and there if I am lucky enough to get some work with art in that industry. But that's okay because I'll secure myself with something else. And I can still be happy by doing something that I always wanted to do when I was younger. Doing art, but I don't have to completely rely on it. Kind of my plan. Once I got more time, then I want to focus on that. And it doesn't need to be super successful because I'll have something else to back me up. Yeah, I'll be drawing in my house by a lake, maybe. Chill with my cats and draw and draw and draw and draw. And maybe sometimes someone wants to buy my art. Maybe. Sorry, that was a lot of real talk. I hope that wasn't too real. But at least you can be relieved that I have a plan for the future. If it's really necessary one day, I mean, I just get a normal job as well. I have a plan B in case I really need to work. I can just go back to tourism. Yeah. Could work as a translator. Nah, I don't wanna. Maybe like small translation commissions. I've done that before, but not as a main job. I would need a proper training and certificates and all that kind of shit. That stuff, by the way, I have a friend who does that professionally. And first of all, it's stressful. Second of all, it doesn't even pay that well. And third of all, most of them do it freelancingly. And it's kind of tough, I think, to get proper jobs all the time lined up as a freelance translator. Yeah, and I really have a lack of time. Yeah. Anyway, let's finish up these super chats, okay? We went to this tangent from the question whether or not I would watch the last episode of Handmaid's Tale. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. It was a super tangent. There's absolutely nothing to do with it anymore. Nothing. Wow. Wow. Tangentception. It went places.